Welcome on this new presentation on text mining for business. This presentation will give you complete and short primer on what is text mining and how useful it can be for business. So first, a matter of definition. Text mining is consists in the computational methods that you can use to find interesting information in texts, large volume of texts. You might hear other expressions which are closely related to text mining, such as natural language processing, abbreviated often as NLP, and also computational linguistics, which is the name of a scientific discipline dealing with automated methods to deal with text. So, text, this is a kind of data. You have numerical data and of course textual data. What do we have in mind when we say that text is data? Well, you can think of any kind of text really, such as the pages of a book, or Amazon reviews, or a single tweet, or millions of tweets, or what do I have? Yeah, anything that a company would generate as a written document, such as technical reports, contracts, anything really. So the first step when you are interested in data is to never forget about the data sets that you might have at hand around you. Many things can be considered as worthy data. So, text mining is, as I said, this group of computational methods that you can apply on texts to find interesting things. What are these interesting things? Let me make a list. So this slide is quite important. In this one slide you find a summary of huge research effort in the last 50 years. You can do sentiment analysis first, which is an automatic analysis that will tell you whether the text that you analyze is positive in tone, negative, or neutral. You can do topic modeling, also called topic detection, which is you feed the text to your algorithm, and the algorithm returns to you a topic. This text is about this or that, automatically and accurately. You can do semantic disambiguation. For example, you have to deal with, so that's a bit of a simplistic example, but you would like to analyze a huge number of books, and you would like to make sure that if you are interested in Amazon, the company, the texts mentioning the company will be selected, but not the texts mentioning Amazon, the river in Brazil, in South America. How would you do that? How would a computer know about the difference between Amazon, the company, and Amazon, the river? Well, you have many techniques for that, which are regrouped in the family of semantic disambiguation tools. This is closely related to named entity recognition, which I have next on the list. Named entity recognition consists in finding the terms in the text that refer to non-entities. So if you find in a text a verb about like to eat, that's not an entity, that's a verb. But in the text, if you have Lyon, these kind of tools allow you to identify Lyon as a city in France. So it recognizes these things automatically. You can do semantic enrichment, so also many tools allow you to, if you make a request about well, let's say city, about cities, it will also return to you the text that mention towns and ville in French maybe, or Stadt in German. So the initial request, the initial query that you made about cities has been enriched to include synonyms or close synonyms or other terms that are not synonyms but which are very often used in the same context. Tools allow you to do that today. Language detection also can be made, so it's very easy. You feed the text and you get as a return, you get as a result, you get the language of this text. That's quite easy to do nowadays. Automatic translation, so well, that's Google Translate for those of you who use this service, these kind of services. That's possible today in a way that couldn't be done 10 years ago. Summarizing, you feed a text to the machine and it returns to you a shorter version of the text which is still accurately corresponding to the initial text. Spelling correction, well, text editors do that routinely nowadays. And finally, topic classification. You feed a text to your algorithm, to your tool, and the tool returns to which of predefined categories this text belongs. So for example, is it a spam or not, if you discuss email. So in just 5 minutes I described a huge variety of tools, and now I would like to include 2 demos, 2 tools that are available online and that you can test by yourself, which I hope will show you how powerful these tools can be. So first, it's the sentiment analysis tool created by a team at Stanford, and another one is named entity recognition tool, or for semantic disambiguation by a collaboration of different researchers, and they created a tool called Spotlight. So, amazing things are possible, but not everything is possible yet. So you have conditions, different kind of text, where all these tools and all these possibilities are severely constrained. For example, most of the tools have been built to work on the English language first, simply because the researchers and the companies that created them were English speakers. And the logic of these tools might or might not easily translate to different languages. So here you would have to check by yourself, or that's a very interesting question to ask to a vendor of solution text mining. How does this tool applies to non-English texts? These tools very often perform well on text of a very written expression, but less so on the text that translate oral speech, where colloquial forms and slang and badly constructed syntax are very much more frequent. In these cases, the accuracy of all the tools I mentioned usually decreases severely. And finally, some of these tools, depending on their complexities and their inner working, can work real time in huge volumes, or can't. Maybe that some tools will return their results in milliseconds, others will take a couple of seconds. And this allows you to build real-time services, or it might oblige you to plan for a week to conduct your analysis, maybe instead of 5 minutes. So you should be aware of these differences when you plan for a text mining operation. So these things make text mining harder. What makes text mining impossible at the moment, or what text mining can't do at the moment is, so I listed 3 things, but you might have others. First, detection of irony. I know a couple of researchers working on this problem as we speak, but as of 2014, a text which would be strongly ironical could completely mislead the tools that I listed before. So sentiment analysis in particular could be completely misled in thinking that this piece of text is positive in tone, whereas actually it's completely ironical, and maybe that the author of the text wanted to convey a very negative meaning. A computer could be lost there. Translation is something that, robust translation, something that would perfectly translate one text into another language. As you know from using these services online, I mentioned Google Translate, you know that a perfect translation, or translation that you can work on a daily basis with, is not there yet. And finally, reasoning, that is for a computer to find the meaning, the complex meaning of a text, is not possible yet. You don't have artificial intelligence able to think about a text, even if you have some amazing things already possible, such as the Watson program by IBM, which is able, if you give it an answer in the Jeopardy game, if you give it an answer, it's able to reconstruct the question that corresponds to this answer. So that's what's possible or not with text mining, and also that's the list of possible operations with text mining. In this, I just like to give you a couple of elements of vocabulary about I mean that you might read or hear about when you get interested in text mining, when you read about it, and I just selected the most common ones. So that's stemming, lemmatizing, part of speech tagging, a back of words model, and finally n-grams. So I selected them because they are really basic and easy to understand and very frequently used in conversations. So stemming is the simple operation that consists in cutting from each word in the text, cutting the last part, which very often can change. So it's valid for the English language, the French language, and many other languages. It wouldn't work for Chinese, for example, for Mandarin, but for Indo-European languages, very often the last part of the words can vary, and stemming is the operation that consists in leaving this last part out, so that terms from the same family, such as like and likes and liked, can be regrouped and counted together for whatever you want. Lemmatizing is almost the same. It consists in not cutting the word together, but basically to regroup these words as a single semantic unit, so it's kind of close to stemming. Part of speech tagging is a completely different kind of operation. It consists in feeding the text to an algorithm, and the algorithm basically tags or puts labels on each of the words of the text, and the label depicts the grammatical nature of the terms in the text. So if you say the tree, it will put the label article to the, and it will put the label noun to tree, and it will do that for every word in the text that you have, and that's very useful in text mining if you want to basically understand the grammatical structure of the text for your needs. A word, an expression you'll hear also often is bag of words model. A bag of words model is so simple. It simply means that you will look at a text simply as a list of the terms in this text. So you completely disregard the fact that you have sentences and paragraphs and a progression in the text. You forget all of that. You just make a list of all the terms in the text, and then for each of these terms you count how many times they appear in the text. And this simple operation can already give you a good view on the topic of the text, or can also help you find the sentiment in the text. So this simple operation, very crude actually, right, helps you do many things already. And finally, the thing that you could hear about is n-grams. It simply means that when you have a simple text such as I am Dutch, you could look at it as a sentence, I am Dutch, as a list of words, I am Dutch, 3 words, or a list of expressions of several words. So a unigram is I am Dutch. Bigrams are 2 words that follow each other in the text. So I am is a bigram. Am Dutch is another bigram. And you have 1 trigram in this sentence, which is I am Dutch. Why do we care? Why is it something worth discussing? It's important because if you take expressions such as fMRI, this big scan where you put people to check disease or whatever, functional magnetic resonance imaging, if you would find each word separately, you would never find that the full expression functional magnetic resonance imaging is an expression in itself with always these 4 words following each other. So when you have a simple bag of words model that counts words separately, you would miss the semantic unit of fMRI. When you detect n-grams, so in this case quadrigrams, functional magnetic resonance imaging, you are able to detect this semantic feature, and that might be a very important piece of information to characterize the meaning of the text. So n-grams are discussed quite extensively in text mining operations. Okay, we are done now with the technical discussions about text mining and their operations. Now we go to the second part of this presentation, which is what can we do with that? I'd like to insist before we go to the business side on something fundamental, business or not, business-wise or not. Without text mining, you have access to, if you have data, without text mining, you have access to many interesting things about individuals, such as their behavior, if your data is clicks on web pages, or likes, or if you have their email, you have maybe information about their country of origin, about if you have any other kind of CRM, you might have information about their gender, their address, their age. All of that is very interesting, but it's kind of external attributes. They describe you as an ID card, kind of. If you have access to the text relating to this person, to this individual, you have an incomparably richer view of this individual. Opinions, intentions, preferences, the degree of consensus on this or that fact. Social networks, and not just I am friend with somebody, but I discuss with somebody. And we have the content of this conversation, so we can qualify to what extent the connection with these 2 persons is about. And implicit attributes of the speaker, things that are revealed by the way this person talks or writes. So how easy is it? I'm just saying, is it like science fiction stuff, or is it something easy to implement? You should know that it's actually very easy, too easy maybe, in the sense that you have very strong ethical and legal implications on text mining on individuals. So the limit is not technical, the limit is really the one you might impose on yourself. I list on this slide a couple of papers, recent papers, and that's just a couple of them, you have many others, that show what researchers could do when you start text mining texts that relate to individuals. So if you do text mining on what people tweet, you can have an idea about their political opinions. If you look at what people write and like and display as their preferences on Facebook, you can have a very clear view on their psychological attributes and psychological profiles and maybe political preferences. So that's really easy to do with text mining. That shows you the power of the thing, and as for any powerful tool, the strong implications in terms of legal and ethical implications. Now, how can you use this tool for business? I distinguish between three situations: client-facing, for business management, and for business development. So in client-facing situations, you can do many things, such as refining the scorings that you have of your customers, simply because you get to know them better with the texts that relate to them. So nothing new really, but you basically can increase the precision of your propensity scores, including maybe the probability that this customer is going to churn sooner or later. You can score prospects in the likelihood that this prospect will react favorably to your campaign. Speaking of campaigns, you can refine these campaigns to actually fine-tune the content of your campaign to the profile of this prospect or this customer based on what you text mined on this individual and or segment of individuals. And finally, you can do better community management by having a very precise, real-time, ideally, picture of what's being currently said about your brand or product or industry, and you can detect things that you need to react to. So that's when you deal with customers and prospects. Now, inside your organization, in terms of managing your business, your organization generates a lot of texts, and mining these texts can allow you to basically understand your own operations and organization in a way that hierarchical organigrams wouldn't allow you to see. An example I give from personal experience is that you can have a better view on the activity of a business school, let's say, just by looking at the map of all the textual content included in the publications of the researchers of this business school. So you have exploiting the flows of texts produced by your organization can tell you a lot about how is your organization functioning and, well, what could be changed about it. In human resources, there is of course a huge opportunity in finding talents and recruiting them in the ocean of potential candidates just by mining their profiles online. And of course you have some companies that already specialize in this particular business. And finally, you can also have an improved marketing research in order to getting a better view on your customer satisfaction and having also a better view on how your activity is perceived or positioned on the market. Finally, and that's, I think, where there is the most potential, even if it's the most risky and uncertain, is the use of text mining for business development, basically for innovation. So mining text can help you create adjunct services to existing products. Just think of Amazon's capacity to connect products and make recommendations for products based on past purchases, but also exploiting the similarities in the reviews that customers have written or the description of the product. So text mining these things helps Amazon getting a view of which product can be aligned with which other product. You can do detection of you can better detect needs in the market and match them with new services, or you can enhance the localization and the personalization of a product based on the individual features of a single individual served by this product, and these individual features you would basically understand them through text mining. And last but not least, I'm convinced that text mining, we just scratch the surface there, but text mining, if properly done, allows for basically new enhanced understanding of situations or the environment, and this understanding is valuable as a product that can be sold. So it's all a matter of finding the right aggregation of text and the right analysis that matches somebody's need. This is up to you if you're entrepreneurs to actually brainstorm on these possibilities. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that, except for listing a couple of key players in the market. So SAP, of course, they provide the whole package in management and analysis, so they do have a text mining package in their offer. But the others, Alchemy, API, TextSifter, OpenCalais, and Exalytics, are really dedicated to text mining, and these are interesting products or companies to follow in the future. That's it. Thank you.